Masamkele kwakho kwinkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay with Percy M. Good evening and welcome once again to your favorite talk show, that is your VOB with myself, Percy M. Tonight, I'm hosting a number of guests. The first guest that we will be talking with is Mr. Zengetwa Mbulelo Zengetwa, Regional Secretary of NEHAWU. This coming Friday, they will be embarking on a march that will start at Nangoza Chebewol and end at Mpilweni Hospital. We'll be talking with him in our first segment. And then in our second segment, Mr. Christian Martin, who is one of the activists in the northern areas, is also with us, where we'll be talking about gang-related shootings that are taking place in the northern areas. Lastly, sinabo abasuka phaa kwibandla likaMfundisi uMasebe. Khumbula ke ibandla kule inyanga labe libhiyozela khona i-50th anniversary. Hlala kunye nathi kwinkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay. Let's welcome Mr. Mbulelo Zengetwa, Regional Secretary of NEHAWU. Good evening and welcome, Hlagas.
Evening, Mdagapisi, together with the listeners of this program.
Thank you very much. I'm correct when I'm saying this coming Friday you will be embarking on a march, a march that will start at Nangoza Chebewol and end at Mpilweni. Take us through what will be happening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Percy. First and foremost, let me start by just correcting a part from your introduction.
Okay.
Yes, indeed, I'm Mbulelo Zengetwa.
Mbulelo Zengetwa. Yes.
COSATU Vuisilemini, local secretary.
Okay.
I'm doing this because I'm not the regional secretary of NEHAWU anymore. So I'm so afraid.
You used to be.
I used to be.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me come closer on your question, Mr. Peace. Indeed, we are, of course, COSATU took a decision with Central Executive Committee that because of each and every year, we used to have a decent work campaign. This year, we took a decision that we needed to go and support one of the unions, in particular NEHAWU and DINOSA. As we all know, these unions are the affiliates of COSATU.
Correct.
But we've realized that in the Department of Health, we are having some big problems today. And now COSATU took that decision to say, look, let's go and support those unions that are in the COSATU affiliation. So on Friday, remember, the 7th of October will be on Saturday. Now, we agreed that because it is on Saturday, we need to use a Friday as the day that we are going to have our campaign, to start from Nongoza Chebe to Mpilweni Hospital.
Correct.
Where we will go and meet the department officials to hand over the memorandum to the officials of the department.
If I may ask, what does the memorandum entail?
There are many things that will be in the memorandum. One, the shortage of staff, corruption that is so rife in the Department of Health. One of the things that is burning currently, we wanted the department to reverse a letter that they wrote to us that talks about the austerity measures, where you will see that because of we are having this shortage of staff, but they say they are not going to employ anybody. So we are saying no to the letter that was written by office of Utata Enoch Godongwana.
Were you provided with the reasons?
Yes, indeed. We did not been provided with the reasons for the austerity measures, but it was just a letter that came from the office of Utata Godongwana. But we always say to government, look, anything that will impact the workers, you need to go. In fact, we do have a network. Some of the things should be discussed in
At
the
that level.
NEDLAC, you know, so that any letter that will come out, at least everybody is aware of that. One of the key things that is going to be in the memorandum, remember, there is an issue of outsourcing, saying we need to have insourcing to certain categories that are working for the department, because this thing of outsourcing is killing us. That's where you will get the corruption most of the time, because you will see that some of the people are having these companies are the people that are working for the same government. So we are saying, therefore, let me make a typical example. You will have a security guards that are working day and night in the hospitals. But at some point, you will realize that these people are not getting their salaries and maybe 3 to 5 months. So we believe that if that insourcing can happen, those things we cannot experience. Yeah, that is the reason.
Okay.
And there are many more reasons that will be entailed in the memorandum.
Who is going to be leading the march?
Remember, this is the national campaign, and we are expecting the deployees from national, but currently we have our provincial secretary, Ukomdechu Ugura.
Gora Maliki.
Malik. He's here in PE because we were moving together today and yesterday, going to various institutions, encouraging people to come to support this campaign. So he is going to be among those who will be deployed in this Gqeberha region. Yes.
Any alliance partners?
Yes, indeed. Every time when we do things, we liaise with the alliance components. And we are expecting them, in particular South African Communist Party, because it's a vanguard of the workers. So we are expecting them to be part of the march, SANCO and the ANC, and all other federations, because we said this time around, you know, it should not be COSATU alone. All workers should unite, because the enemy is one. The enemy is not the enemy of COSATU or other federation, but as workers, we need to close the ranks and defend the peace.
Just because we are running out of time, just to remind us again, time and the place.
Yes, thank you very much. The march will start at 9 o'clock. We are going to gather at Nongozachebe at 9 o'clock. But we agreed that, and we are going to move from Nongozachebe at 11 o'clock, because Impilweni Hospital, Noko, is not a faraway place. So from Nongozachebe to Impilweni. That's where around about 12:30, we are going to hand over the memorandum to the officials of the Department of Health. Then we will disperse thereafter.
Mr. Zengetwa, we thank you very much for honoring this important interview for the sake of your workers who are really struggling where they work, because we really understand what is taking place in different hospitals. But we thank you very much and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
In your match.
Thank you very much.
Sabaleka kenjalo siye ngasevenkileni. Sinamkele kwakho kwinkqubo yethu iVOB Voice of the Bay. Now I am joined by Mr. Christian Martin. We all know Mr. Christian Martin. Mr. Christian Martin, good evening and welcome. Siyakwamkela kwinkqubo yethu iVOB.
Good evening, Percy, and thank you also to the viewers.
I know you are one of the people who are so active in this region of Nelson Mandela and again in the northern areas. But tonight we are going to focus strictly on what is happening in the northern areas, especially around the issue of gang-related shootings that are taking place. You are the one who know the places, which places that are plagued, that we can say are plagued areas in the northern areas where these shootings are taking place and why?
Percy, let me say the following. I think what we should do is first to differentiate between the type of killings that are taking place recently and where, as you rightfully ask. You see, the challenge that we have recently within the northern areas is the fact that people are not being killed individually, as we've seen in the past.
It's mass
where
shootings.
It's mass serial killings that are taking place. When I say mass serial killings on Percy, it's exactly 5, 6, 8, 10 people that are being killed in this violent situation, gang and drug related within the northern areas.
So it's gang and drug related.
It's gang and drug related on Percy.
Does it involve, or we can relate these mass shootings to service delivery related tenders?
No.
There's nothing like
Percy,
that.
as I say, our discussion for tonight is the violence gang related in the northern areas. You have to have another discussion when we talk about the tender related murders and shootings. We have examples also in our metro.
Okay, so now there's nothing that has to do with service delivery and tenders.
No, let me put it this way, Percy. Let's make it easy for the viewers. From April to date, we have about 130 people that have been murdered.
From April this
From
year.
April this year to September. It's October now.
Yeah.
The end of October, the end of September, we have about 130. The total for the full year of 2023 to date is about 200 killings in the northern areas. Now, I understand when you almost whistled now on Percy when you hear the totals, because it seems that we are in a small war when it comes to the northern areas of Port Elizabeth. And most of these gang-related mass serial killings are taking place at the precincts of Chetty and Bettelsdorp. They are the most in this metro. If you combine Chetty and the Bettelsdorp police station, the Chetty police station you can see as a small police station that is actually also still, it's not practical still because they both have their own station commanders. But you can say it's too short a time to measure Chetty by itself. So you still have to measure Chetty from last year. What was the combination with Chetty and with Bettelsdorp for this year? So if you can put that together, you'd understand. But your other follow-up question was, where does this mass serial killings,
hotspot areas?
Yeah, where did the mass serial killings take place? I will answer that. When it comes to your hotspots, there's no hotspots in the northern areas.
No hotspots.
There's no hotspots. Everywhere it's a hotspot. If you go to Arcadia, as we speak, and I was raised, born, bred, everything in Arcadia, in the northern areas, people are dying by the day. If you go to Salt Lake, and so you can go on, it's the tendency in the whole northern areas. Remember, these gangsters don't have periods and warnings to say we're going to be there or there or there. These things happen on Percy. But where did the mass serial killings take place? Mass serial killings of Percy is the change now of these violent gang, drug-related crimes. I can say it's in Arcadia, in Salt Lake, in Galvin, in Timothy Valley, Boysons Park, and in Kamesh, in Kariga. Remember on Percy, if you look at your hotspots, and here I raised to you where the mass serial killings are taking place. I have mentioned about 6, 7 areas in the northern. So how can I answer you where is the hotspots if most of these mass serial killings are taking place in the broader
Every
northern
place
areas?
is a hotspot.
It's a hotspot. It's a hotspot. It's a tragedy. You see, our biggest challenge as we speak now in the northern areas The problem that we have now, moving nearer to elections, is where political parties opportunistically are jumping now on the ticket of these mass serial killings and having meetings and having calling communities together under the banner of a political party. I want Percy to say,
Which political parties are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Democratic Alliance, the DA, as we speak now.
What's wrong with that?
Percy, you see, that is the problem that we have. Remember, crime is everybody's business. Crime is not an individual political party's business. Crime is not Martin's business. The same way we have dealt with COVID holistically as all people together, that is how we've won it. The same way we must deal with crime. Crime is the common enemy here. And there's nobody on Percy. The police needs us. Political parties with the S, we need each other. I don't go out into society and scream the political party, which is the ANC I belong to. I don't do that. I go to any meeting that are willing to stand together.
I just want to know what's wrong with the action of Democratic Alliance.
Percy, it is
By making such an intervention.
No, they're not making an intervention on Percy. Let me tell you this. You see, on Percy, it's opportunistic. Let us just solve that one quick. Yeah? I've just raised here to Percy how many people and where they have been murdered. Where was these people the whole time?
What if it was your political party who went there and make such an intervention, your ANC?
Yes, I like what you are asking. You see, Percy, I'm the ANC. I belong to the ANC. I'm a long-standing member of the ANC. I don't call people together for crime. When I went to sleep in a coffin, I did not call political parties.
Mr. Martin, your party, your ANC is claiming to be a leader of society. But look what DA is doing. DA is doing what was expected from your party.
Percy, let me try to explain this again. You see, Percy, I want to repeat opportunism. I will also repeat the fact that I am an ANC, but when I call people together, I don't see political party. Because when you die, when our youth and our children die on Percy, they don't die under the auspices or the banner of political parties. They are dying on Percy. Percy, please. Let me do this. Ne? I am here to educate. I am not here to do anything. And when I say I'm here to educate, I want to say to the people outside there, let us stand together. Noba kunjan religion. Noba kunjan political affiliation. Your sport let us stand together as we have stood together against apartheid. We are standing together the same way.
If you claim as a leader of society, this is what you were supposed to do as ANC.
I'm doing that. Percy, again, I will tell you.
I'm not reducing this to yourself, but to your political. I'm talking about your political party.
Percy, I hear what you are saying. Okay, when you say that, you must also remember when we have our meetings to address the people in the northern areas.
Let's leave it there for now. We'll go for a commercial break and come back. VOB Voice of the Bay. Good evening once again and welcome back from the ad break. I am still with Mr. Christian Martin. Mr. Martin, again, welcome.
Thank you, Percy.
To what you are saying, I am hearing that there is no cooperation where you reside or in the northern areas. Why it is like?
Okay, Percy, let me put it this way. I attended a meeting the other night at Western Community Center. that was called also by a political party. I attended that meeting, though it's not my political party. The reason for that is I spoke to the leader of that political party in this province, and I asked him, I am challenging you.
Who are you talking
No,
about?
no. He must come for his own interview. I'm not going to give him airtime.
Which political
No,
party are you talking
I'm
about?
tired of this thing of raising political parties.
But you are the one who are
No,
talking about this.
You were the one.
You are the one who are raising these issues.
You ask which political party. Let me do this on person. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to address a situation that is serious.
But you are the one who are raising the names of the not even the names of the party, you raise political parties. So I'm curious, curious.
On Percy, let us do this. Let us do this.
Mr. Martin, I'm curious.
No, it's good if you're curious. It's a good sign. It's good leadership. But what I'm trying to say is on Percy, as political parties, not even mentioning my own political party, why I am here is to say that let's work together and fight this dragon together. The same way we have fought it during apartheid. There was no this one, nor that one. Religion was not a factor. Political affiliation was against one thing. It was common enemy number one. And common enemy number one here is drug and gang-related serial killings in the northern areas. The church, political parties of whichever, and I don't care how many people you are, we must stand together. I have challenged, as I've said, the leader of a political party in the northern areas to say, I want you to call us together. I will come. To show that this thing is not about politics. Our people are dying. We are talking about politics. I must come for an interview instead of talking about how do we fight this common enemy called crime, gang, drug-related, serial killing. Our people are dying on Percy. My Spali, my brother-in-law was shot 100 meters from my parents' house. I'm not here to talk politics and who can. I'm here to say, let's stand together and we fight the common enemy number one.
You know, Mr. Martin, there is a political party in the northern areas. I don't know whether I must call it Northern Alliance or National Alliance. You know, when they were given an opportunity to lead safety and security in this municipality, even in their manifesto before the 2021 local government elections, their priority was to make it a point that there is peace and stability in the northern areas. Now, as we are talking, Mr. Stachmisha is leading that department from that political party. What does he do about this situation?
Percy, let me come back.
Fortunately, you also work in the mayor's office as an advisor. Even our mayor, Mr. Gary van Niekerk, is coming from the same political party that I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm happy that you say that I work as an advisor on Percy. So my problem is that you didn't ask me what is my advice to them. You asked me what did they do. I can't answer what are they going to do or will do. I give advice when there's a problem.
No.
No, Ima,
I am not putting any blame to you.
No, I don't. I don't even take the blame on Percy.
Mr. Martin, I am just raising this just for our viewers to know that there is a party that prioritized safety and security.
I belong to a different political
party. No, you belong to the African National Congress. I know that.
But the point is on Percy, let's be fair. I can't ask you, SABC or ENCA, things on your Mpumakapa thing, although you also interviewee like all the others. I can't do that because you have no mandate to speak for any other. I have no mandate to speak for another political party. If you ask me anything about my party on another platform, I can speak about that.
No, Mr. Martin, hear me
for
correctly.
Tonight, now I hear you very loud and clear.
Hear
for
me
tonight on Percy,
Mr.
I'm
Martin,
here to say 130 people died.
You work together in this coalition government. as ANC, NA, and other political parties. The reason why I'm raising this, maybe you did have a time to talk about this issue
Okay.
with your or coalition
Let me
partners.
assist you, Percy. Let me assist you. You see, in the first round, you ask about a specific political party which I do not belong to. Your question now is fair. You are asking now, as a coalition, what are you doing? Now I can answer, because as a coalition, at least I can say, one, what the coalition, what the executive may have done is to call the public-private, like your security companies together, to call subs together, to call civil society together and see how we can work to resolve at least some of the problems pertaining safety and security.
Do you have any plan?
Remember, on
If you do have, share with us.
remember, on person, let's be fair towards each other. I can't sit here as an advisor and share the plan of an MMC, or share the plan, as you have put it, there is an MMC in place. I can't share his plan and then you interrogate me. It's unfair towards him as well as unfair towards me. I can't do that. You understand? I don't
So-
have a problem of talking about what we as a community should do. All that I want, on Percy, is that we need to stand together. It can't be as we speak, on Percy. So many people have died.
So are you going to lead the one that we are talking about?
Which one is that?
The plan that we are talking about?
Yeah, thank you for that, on Percy. I think we are getting on the direction now. You see, the plan that we have is, on Percy, is to call on civil society. Because this is not a subs problem that we have. For me to sit here and blame subs this side and that side won't be fair. But what is fair is there's certain things that lack within subs. But that we must discuss when you have a subs person next to me, on Percy, to verify the facts, what I'm saying. So for now, what I'm saying, subs, CPFs of Bettelsdorp, Chetty, and Kamesh must come together. The religious fraternity,
We've got only 1 minute.
religious fraternity must also come together. If I can use the 1 minute, on Percy, I would say, I would call upon our National Commissioner, Mela Mose, if he can come down and assist us with our challenge that we have, and call all these relevant stakeholders together so that we can find a common plan. The problem that we have is, on Percy, that I need to share also, is that the community, we have a problem with witnesses. People are afraid to come out, on Percy, and that needs to be respected, because how can you come out and be a witness and tomorrow you know more? It's unfair. So even the Witness Protection Act need to be assessed again, and so it must come to, we need special forces from subs to come in, experts, analysts. We need the universities to come in. That is the message that I want to send out tonight. All of us have a responsibility, not only one part of society.
Mr. Martin, anytime you wish to come and share anything that has to do with that killings that are taking place there, you are more than welcome.
No, thank you always to Mpuma Kapa, to yourself, and Percy, to giving us an opportunity. And thank you for the tough questions that you always ask. We must appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. Masibaleke sengasevenkileni. Emveni kwevenkile libandla likaMasebe. Sibuyile kwakhona evenkileni, siyanamkela kwinkqubo yethu iVOB Voice of the Bay. Kulosana ngena ngaleli thuba molo ekhaya, igama lami nguPercy M. Lamani. Ngaleli thuba ndiphethe ibandla likatata uMasebe, nangona yena sele washiya okuphilayo ngumama uMasebe. Libandla ke libizwa ngokuba United Ethiopian Church of Africa. Esikunye nabo ngaleli thuba nguye elder of the United Church of United Ethiopian Church of Africa, utata uCyril Langboy. Tata Langboy siyakwamkela.
Mandibulise nam sasazi nababukeli ekhaya.
Enkosi kakhulu ngokuba kunye nathi. Kanti ke asibulele nakuwe mdala umlindi kaMangwana.
Siyabulela nathi lithuba siyabulisa ku-Persimmon nabaphulaphuli.
Ndiqinisekile ibandla likatata Masebe wonke umuntu uyavuya nokhulele pha oneminyaka ndiqinisekile kulo ukhulayo kulo minyaka yakhe nokuzibandakanya kwakhe nebandla eli uthi zikho izinto afikelele kuzo kwingcambu zenkonzo. Asile gqabagqaba ngeli bandla ngubani utata Masebe? Ngoba ke elona gama livamileyo libandla likatata Masebe. Eli lokuba United Ethiopian Church of Africa anifane nithethe ngalo ibandla likatata Masebe.
Ibandla likatata Masebe okokuqala ngumpostile. Uqale apha eBhayi kwizitrato lapha eBhayi ngo-1973 eqhuba ivangeli. Into yokubana ngaba abantu mabasindiswe, waguqula abantu ababesezingxakini emotionally, physically nasekuhlaleni. Abantu babexakile wabanceda ngokuthi abamkelise uYesu.
Usuka phi?
Usuka yena kumhlaba waseMonti eMdantsane. Uqhubile nevangeli ehamba notata uBhengu ongasekhoyo wase-Assemblies of God. Waze ke wabe uyaqhuba elivangeli apha eBhayi, waliqhuba nationally. Liye lahamba ke ivangeli linwenwa kusinda imiphefumlo, isindiswa imiphefumlo. Abantu babexakile bebezicriminals bencanyiwe nakomakwabo nasekuhlaleni. Bangabantu ababhetela namhlanje ngosindiswa. Izinto zabo zijikile ngendlela abazenza ngayo izinto. Bangumboniso omhle ekuhlaleni. Zonke izinto noko zabonakala zinhle. Waliqhuba ke ivangeli eMzantsi Afrika. Silapha ke sizobhiyozela le 50 years yejubilee.
Masibambe apho. Tata uCyril Langboy, ndiqinisekile nawe njengomuntu noko ochitha ixesha elininzi kweli bandla kukho onothube kanti wabelana nathi ngakumava akho nebandla.
Kuninzi msasazi endinako ukwabelana ngako nabaphulaphula okanye ababukeli ekhaya. Okokuqala into esivame ngayo silibandla nami endayifundayo ukuba ibandla eli lakhelwe phezu kwelizwi likaThixo. Siyakholelwa kwilizwi likaThixo njengoba linjalo iBhayibhile. Ndiyathanda kuyithetha ke le nto msasazi yokuba xa sikholelwe eBhayibhileni thina silela libandla likatata sikholelwa kwi-alphabet yokuqala kwiGenesis, sikholelwe kwi-full stop yokugqibela kwizityhilelo. Yonke into ephakathi siyakholelwa kuyo. Eyesibini siyakholelwa ukuba uThixo uziziqu ezithathu okwesithathu sikholelwa ukuba iBhayibhile le iphefumlelwe nguThixo, ngoko ke iyamnceda umntu njengoba besetshilo ke umdala uMangwane. Umuntu osengxakini zokuhlala ekhaya, umuntu osengxakini esiqwini, psychologically, emotionally, financially and otherwise, iyamnceda ngoba ililizwi likaThixo. Ndiyibonile ke loo nto kule minyaka ndikhonza ngayo kwade kwangoku.
Ibandleli lahluke njani kumanye amabandla?
Ibandla lohlukile kwamanye amabandla ndingatsho
Lohluke njani?
ngezi zinto bendichazile uba likholelwa kwilizwi likaThixo.
Onke amabandla akholelwa kwela lizwi likaThixo.
Umzekelo, sikholelwa thina kwinto ethi njengoba lisitsho ilizwi, ndinguYehova uThixo wakho, uze ungabi nabo abanye uthixo ngaphandle kwam. Ungazenzeli umfanekiso osezulwini, emhlabeni naphansi komhlaba.
Ndicela
umzekelo, thina kwela bandla senza yonke into eyenziwa ngabantu. Umzekelo, siyolusa. Kodwa xa sisolusa, solusa ngokwelizwi. Siyatshatisa. Xa sitshatisa, sitshatiswa ngokwelizwi. Xa sine-birthday yabantwana bethu thina siyenza ngokwelizwi, asiyidibanisi nezinye izinto. Asitsho ke ukuthi abanye abantu barongo, kodwa thina sikholelwa ilizwi likaThixo lithini naloo nto. Ndiyacinga ke sohluke ngaloo nto ke kwamanye amabandla.
Yakufa. Qinisekile mhlekazi uMangwana nawe okokuba kukho umcimbi onokuwongeza kulo mahluko webandla likaTata uMasebe nakumanye amabandla ungangenelela.
Hayi, okwethu njengoba setshilo umdala Langboy, senza izinto ngelizwi. We believe also nakwi-constitution yelizwe ukubana ngabe umuntu une-right yokuzikhonzela ngendlela afuna ngakhona. Thina siqinisekile ngeli lethi ivangeli lokubana ngaba uYesu uyasindisa, axole izono umuntu eselapha emhlabeni. Ngoko ke zonke into esizenzayo sizenza ngelizwi.
Ayikho enye into engapha.
Ayikho enye into engapha.
Inkolo
yebandla. Yes.
Enye into ibalulekileyo, amabandla onke anabantu abahlala ekuhlaleni nabantu abachatshazelwe imicimbi yezopolitiko, service delivery. Bagcinana njani aba bantu phangaphakathi ebandleni?
Ibandla lethu okokuqala alizimanyanisi nezopolitiko, ukuhlonipha wonke umuntu ongaphakathi enkonzweni. Thina sivamise okokubana ngaba urhulumente okhoyo siye sibe nentsebenziswana nabo njengoba iBhayibhile isitsho incwadi kaTimoti ethi ndiyavuselela kuqala kwinto zonke ukuba kwenziwe isikhungo imithandazo ngenxa yabantu bonke abo basekongameni. Sithetha ke ngurhulumente. Urhulumente okhoyo siyamhlonipha, siyasebenzisana naye. Siyayazi loo nto uba urhulumente unesiduko. Kodwa ke thina sime kule ndaba yeba urhulumente osemthethweni njengeBhayibhile isitsho siyabahlonipha abasemagunyeni.
Phambi kokuba sengasevenkileni, amaqela ezopolitiko niyawanika iqonga phaa kwibandla le okokuba azovakalisa mhlawumbi oko bangathanda ukuzisa eluntwini ngakumbi phaa kumarhameni?
Hayi, sasazi asilivule lo thuba kumaqela ezopolitiko. Isizathu sesi besitshilo umdala uMangwana. Waphanga phakathi baninzi abantu abakumaqela ezopolitiko ohlukeneyo. Uba ke ngoku sinokuthi thina simema eli qela sawuba sikhetha abanye kwabanye, siyayiphepha ke loo nto.
Okay. Nkosi kakhulu ngenkcazelo malunga nebandla Tata uCyril Langboy kwakunye nawe mdala uMlindi Mangwana. Ndiqinisekile xa sawubuya ngasevenkileni sawuncokola ngemibhiyozo yeminyaka engama-50. Nithi yijubhile.
Yes.
Baleke sengasevenkileni. Sibuyele kakhona evenkileni, sesiqala ke phofu sesiqukumbela. Kodwa ke ekuqoleni kwethu abo bamele ibandla i-United Ethiopian Church of Africa, ibandla likaTata uMasebe, uye uTata uCyril Langboy kwakunye naye umdala uMlindi kaMangwana. Masinamkele botani. Ndiqinisekile njengoba nje sesiqola siqukumbela, ndawuthanda uva kuni into yokokuba ibandla kule mibhiyozo kuzabe kusenzeka ntoni phi?
Masibulele lithuba. Nge-13 ka-Okthobha 2023 ibandla i-United Ethiopian Church, affectionately known as ibandla likaTata uMasebe, lizabe line-men's conference. Izabe ibanjelwe phaya eWestview Public School eMill Park. Phaya ke sinoogqirha abazizithethi zembeko ukululeka ootata abazabe phayana ngamava nokubalungisa ngoba amadoda achanekile emotionally, physically and other ways. So le men's conference ibonisa ukuba ibandla lamatopi amanyeneyo li-connected socially ngoba ezi social ills ziyafuneka zibekwe kwi-public discourse, ku-engagwe, siminimize i-suicides ezenziwa ngamadoda. Amadoda azive eqinisekile ngobudoda babo, babe ngootata ebantwaneni, babe ngootata nakwiifemeli zabo.
Okay.
So sabe ke sino-Dr. Ndlela ezobe phayana ethetha ngokwaluleka ngokwengqondo. Sibe no-Dr. Nojoka ozabe ethetha gabalala ngobudoda. Then sibe no-Mr. Motsi Mfuleni ezabe ethetha nge-leadership ne-finances. Uba indoda funeke ikhokhele njani, indoda funeke iziphathe njani iimali zayo ekhaya ngalo xesha nasenkonzweni. So i-financial discipline. So iyabe ukhona ke nomthambo ozabe senziwa kwe-acting station commander waseNew Bright, uColonel Norman. Yes.
So iprogram yokuqala kule 50th anniversary.
Yes.
Elandelayo ithini?
Unobhala
ngomgqibelo msasazi umhla we-14 ku-Okthobha sawube sinombhiyozo omkhulu esithi xa siwuthetha luvuthondaba.
Le program uyichaze yangoLwesihlanu.
uLwesihlanu, yes.
And then ngomgqibelo i-14 kwenzeke enye iprogram. Siphulaphule dadewabo.
Le program yangomgqibelo ke sithi luvuthondaba lalwe 50th anniversary ngolu hlobo. Sizawube kusasa ngo-9 otho ngo-8 sine-procession esuka apha ezantsi eNtshekisa sisiya ePhakama building sisiya eNangoza Jebe. Iyawuba ikhokela ke zizithwalandwe izifundiswa zenkonzo nabanye abantu asibamemeleyo nebandla lonke. Siyofika ke eholweni eNangoza. Ngaphakathi ke zizabe zikhona izithethe zosuku. Omnye wazo ezawube uvula lo mnyhadala izawube ngumama osikhokelayo, umama uMasebe. Uyawube uvula ke ngokusesikweni lo mnyhadala esichazela ke nento masilindele. Phethubeni aphinda abe khona notata uGumbi owaziwayo kwezelizwi ezawuthetha yena gabalala ke ngevangeli jikelele nali katata uMasebe. Phambili kwakhona sibe khona isithethi sesikolo seBhayibhile esiphaya ePietermaritzburg, umfundisi uNkosi naye ezawuthetha ke ngelizwi nokuhlala jikelele. Zibe khona ke nezinye izithethi ke nezinye izinto esawuzenza ke phakathi ukubonisa ukuthi sigqiba iminyaka engama-50 lafikayo elivangeli. Kodwa uzawube khona ke umuntu ozawuthetha gabalala ngotata ohloniphekileyo uMlibo Qhoboshiyane, usekela somlomo weParlamente ePhebisho. Uzabe ethetha ke ngotata gabalala ngaye ke nendima ayidlalileyo ekuhlaleni, ekukhonzeni nalapha ebandleni. Apha aqale khona njengoba betshilo umdala ekusindisweni kwakhe wahamba nevangeli wazofika eBhayi wasishiya ngo-2004. Adluleka angene nakumama 2004 uzothi kangoku zintoni umama uMasebe azenzileyo ebandleni ekuhlaleni eGabalala. Izabe ngumhlo omkhulu ke lewo sibhiyoza nezi zinto ke sendichazileke. Inkosi.
Yazi Mangwane siqola siqokumbela. Khona enye umcimbi ongathandayo into kokuba sibe kanti siyawuva.
Sihamba nje ukuthi kuzaba kukhona nekhilo litye le-50th anniversary nge-15th on Sunday. Yona ke yabe iqhubeka emagcekeni enkonzo ase-United Ethiopian Church eSalam kwaZakhela. So sizama ukuthi Persimmon ibandla eli leJubili lisizama abantu base-Eastern Cape neSouth Africa yonke ukuba lazi okokubana ngabe elibandla li-community driven and as programs sinazo uba abantu mabazi zizawuphuma live nakuPhuma Kapa njalo njalo nakwi-different radio stations or community radio stations. Sabe siphayana sivuyisana nale misebenzi mikhulu mingaka yenziwe yi-founder yale nkonzo utata umpostile uMasebe kwakunye noBishop umama uMasebe. Enkosi kakhulu.
Iqinisekile mhlekazi uthetha ngebandla your church that is community driven.
Yes.
Sivile ngemizamo katata ayenzileyo ukuzama uqokelela abantu khona kuze mhlawumbe zeziphi ezinye ii-programs eninazo ezincedisana noluntu ngoku
Zikhona ii-soup kitchens eziqhubayo phaa ko-Boysons Park, kwi-Chetty area, nase-NU 29, and sometimes Wells Estate area, whereby kubakho ii-soup kitchen, abantu abangathathi ntweni bafumane khona izinto.
Okay.
And sometime also sikhe siye naseDorangenza kuyovolontiwa phayana.
Okugqibela, ngabe ibandla licinga ngokuba nesikolo salo njengamanye amabandla afana no-Seventh Adventist Church. Ayikho kwimbono zebandla loo nto.
Sinayo iNikukhanya Bible College, nangona ke singekayirejistarishi ukusesikweni, kodwa ikhona.
Okay.
Enye yenjongo sifuna uyenza, sifuna unxulumana ne-Union Bible Institute ephaya ePietermaritzburg. Apho ezaba khona uprincipal wakhona. Nathi umnqweno wethu lowo. Njengoba utata watyala lembewu, nathi sibe nalo iBible College yethu. Umnqweno wethu lowo. Siyakholwa ke uba izodlula iminyaka eyi-50 ingenzekanga loo nto.
Nkosi kakhulu, siyabulela mdala Cyril Langboy, sibulele nakuwe mdala umlindi kaMangwana. Sininqwenelela impumelelo nakule mibhiyozo yeminyaka engamashumi amahlanu, 50th anniversary lebandla likatata Masebe. Nkosi kakhulu.
Siyabulela.
Nkosi tata Cyril Langboy.
Siyabulele.
Ngolo hlobo ke nenkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay with Percy ifikelela esiphelweni. Ukhumbule ke ngomso 1:30 up until 2:30 uyawufumana khona impinda, that is our repeat of this show. Nkosini kakhulu kuni nonke nje, masibuye sibonane kwakhona kwiNkqubela FM between 6 and 9. Ukhumbule ke ne-IDP programs siyaqhubekeka nazo. Uyawuziphulaphulela ke nakunomathotholo nalapha kwiMpuma Kapa kwindaba ezifumana rhoqo emveni kwentsimbi yesithandathu. Busuku benzolo. Adios amigos. God bless.